the business went under. I ploughed millions into it and lost it all.
What happened?
And I had a partner who stitched me up.
The legend, Mr. Wayne Lineker, club owner, bar owner, entrepreneur.
A man who's known as the face of Ibiza, the man himself, Wayne Lineker.
I understand you went to prison back in the day.
It was for a tax offence. They gave me 2.5 years. So these two guys came into my cell once. He put his hand in his pocket. I thought he was going to pull a knife out. Because I don't hang around with people my age. I'm never with them.
How old are you?
60. And all the girls in the club and all that, they're all 25, 30, whatever. I can't find someone that my age, really.
You still like a good night out, do you?
I love a good night out, yeah.
Yeah. Are you close to Gary, your brother?
No, we don't speak anymore. It's what it is.
Yeah. But before we dive into this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on. Wayne, are you the king of Ibiza?
I don't like to say I'm the king of Ibiza, to be honest. I find it a bit embarrassing, really, people say that. But obviously we're quite dominant now in Ibiza, our group, as a group. And yeah, so we've found our feet in Ibiza and yeah, we're just looking to expand businesses all the time and yeah.
Why do you think people call you the king of Ibiza?
I don't know, I guess it's because my picture's everywhere, isn't it? Because people are taking the pictures every day with me and Ocean and like 300 a day sometimes. So that's
wow.
That's all over the internet. And
what, you do 300
all over
selfies
media.
a day with people?
Around that, yeah.
You should charge for them.
Yeah, imagine. I'd be a very wealthy guy if I charged £5 each. But no, I mean, I don't, I could never do that. And I can never say no either.
No.
I mean, it's great in the daytime when everyone's reasonably sober, but when it comes after 8 p.m. at night, there's a big switch and everyone's drunk and their arms over me and it's too much, so, but yeah.
So, it was what, 1986, 87 when you first went out to Ibiza?
No, it was 1987. I opened my first bar in Tenerife.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Which was in Playa de las Americas.
Yeah.
And I've been going ever since then, really. I had 10 years living in Tenerife, then I had 10 years living in Marbella when we opened there. And then I didn't actually go to Ibiza to live until 2008 when we opened Lineker's Ibiza.
Yeah, and can you take us through the journey of building your club empire?
Yeah, like I say, I used to work fruit and veg markets in Leicester, and it was quite a thriving business. I left school at 14, didn't take any exams, because you could get away with stuff like that back in the day. And yeah, by the time I was 16, my dad let me go on my own on the markets, took some of the stalls that he had, and yeah, built from there really. And by the time I was 16, I had 30 people working for me.
Wow.
Which looking back is you know, quite shocked that actually happened, but at the time it just felt natural. So yeah, and then I was on the markets till I was 26, and then the supermarkets started opening. All the big ones, you know, your Tesco's and your Sainsbury's and Asda's, because they never used to exist. Everything was, all your fruit and veg was bought from the city centre. You used to go to the markets to buy it, and now they started stocking it in the big one-stop shops, and as we called them then. And it just declined. The markets just really fell apart. You know, because people, like I say, went to the city centre to buy the fruit and veg, and that just didn't happen anymore. So it just, I saw it spiralling down, and like, I thought, I need to get out of this. And at the time, my brother was super famous, obviously. In 1986, he was just Barcelona and just captain of England and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, what can I do? So I thought, oh no, I'll open a bar and I'll call it Lineker's. And
so what, leveraging off his name a bit?
Well, our name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I use it to my advantage, but why not?
Yeah.
You know, it was the perfect scenario, really, because my ex at the time, Dwayne and Sean, my two oldest sons' mother, her parents lived in Tenerife, and we used to go a lot. I used to love the island, so that was how it all started, really.
And how many clubs, bars do you have now in the group?
I have no idea. A lot. I don't know, probably Around 20, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you talked earlier about expanding. So what are the expansion plans?
Yeah, obviously we're going to take the O Beach brand further afield. We've been trying to open in Dubai for the last few years, and we had COVID came and we lost the venue that we had originally, and now we're looking at other venues and we're pretty close to securing one. But yeah, it's been a journey to get open in Dubai, but I think by the end of this year, early next year, we should finally get open.
And why do you have the desire to expand still when maybe you don't necessarily need to?
I think it's just something that we enjoy doing. I've got 4 partners: Tony Truman, Tony Wheelchair, Maxi, and my son Dwayne. And they do sort of all the behind the scenes stuff, and basically I take all the credit. but no, we're a good team. Everyone plays their own little part. You know, mine's more social media wise now.
Yeah.
And my son and Maxi do all the researching and looking for places, and obviously we have meetings about and discuss what's right for us and what's not right for us, and yeah, it's a good partnership and it works well.
Is it competitive, maybe even ruthless, running clubs?
Not really. I mean, yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it, but we don't really get any internal arguments with other bar owners, and everyone seems to get on. Obviously, the town hall is a big issue. We have to keep our music levels at a good level, and yeah, it's not really hard, really. I mean, originally it was, you know, but now we've got a great formula, and it tends to work, and we've got a lot of respect, especially on the island, and so yeah, I mean, the police are very good with us, and because we always abide by the rules, you know, we work very tightly with the town hall and the police to make sure that, you know, we respect the laws and the decibels of music, etc.
And what do you think has made your model successful for over 3 decades? Why? Because many bars and clubs, my dad used to be in that business, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. I just think I came into it at the right time. In 1986 or 1987, we opened the first one. And at that time, nobody was really doing it right. But I actually did everything at Lineker's, the original ones. I did the banking, I did the tills, I did the rotors, I did everything. I was a DJ, I was serving, but I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, every hour of my day, 16 hours a day, I used to work, and yeah, I enjoyed it. And I spotted a lot of things that weren't quite right in the industry. Like at that time, security, for example, they were very aggressive. People used to. So I had this formula, really. I let everyone do what they want in the bar. If they want to dance on the tables, they dance on the tables. And at that time, you know, people were getting thrown out of premises for dancing on seats and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, and then throwing them out aggressively. And I thought, this is not right. You know, you can't take all their money and get them drunk, and then when start having a good time, you throw them out. So I spun that around. And people were dancing on the bar tops, on the tables, and they were like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Lineker's was just absolutely packed every night for years and years and years. And then the daytime venues started opening, like Ocean, Blue Marlin, etc., and other daytime venues, especially in Marbella, and it sort of hit the bar trade quite a bit, because people used to just go out and meet at the bars. But now they're already drunk, so we like to call it the drunk money, to get the sober money. Sorry.
Yeah.
When you get the sober money, that's good. But they're already drunk, so people are not spending what they're used to, and they were going home to sleep and then going to the clubs after.
Right.
So the bars took a bit of a hit. But
Yeah. And how have you evolved and stayed relevant over such a long amount of time?
we just obviously reinvest every year back into the venue. You know, make sure we're up with all the trends, and the production's a big thing for us. We spend a lot of money on our production.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you know, the crane that comes in and all the shows and
Yeah.
and the dancers, and yeah, it's a good formula and it works. I mean, the thing is with Ocean, it's very sociable. When we designed it, it was that's what we had in mind. I mean, you could come Ocean with 10 friends and then leave with 50, you know, because everyone's talking to each other, having a laugh, and yeah, it's a very sociable place.
Do you own any of the property? Do you like to invest?
We own some properties and we have leases in others.
Yeah.
Yeah, a variation really.
And do you like owning them, or do you prefer leasing them?
I mean, always good to own them, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the extortionate prices, you can't keep buying places, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have got mainly probably leases, but they're good leases, long leases, you know.
So what would you say are the top lessons you've got from your dad?
My dad taught me everything, but without even me knowing at the time. Yeah, I know I said it's a shame. I wish I could have thanked him before he passed away.
So how long are you going to be doing this for before you retire?
I'll probably retire when I'm about 120. But no, I mean, it's something it's an incredible life I've got, so I very much enjoy it. And I've always liked interacting with the crowd, and I think that's what the market's taught me back, how to know what the public want, and to give them what they want, really, if you can, and have that confidence to be able to do it. So I think that's the original reason it took off as it did back in the day.
So with your 10 years, it sounded like market experience.
Yeah.
Would you call yourself a salesman?
I guess so, yeah. I did all the £2 a banana's 30. Go on, get your gums around my plums, all that stuff. But yeah, I used to have a laugh on the market.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think that helped you?
Yeah, I think it's the best education I could ever have had for what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
For what we're doing. Yeah, it was a great learning curve place. You know, it taught me a lot. My dad taught me everything, but without even me knowing at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I said it's a shame. I wish I could have thanked him before he passed away. And it's only till, you know, a few years after he passed away that I realised what he did do for me.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
And so what would you say are the top lessons you've got from your dad?
Like I say, just being confident with people, you know, being able to understand what they want as clients, you know. Yeah, my dad was a good guy. He used to work really hard. I mean, we used to get up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You know, we had to unload the vans down down the market, and then go to the wholesale market for 6 o'clock, get in the queues, try and get the best deals. Yeah, it was a good time.
Would you call yourself a workaholic?
Not now, no. I mean, like I say, I don't really do that much physical work myself.
Yeah.
I just get involved in some of the meetings, and I'm just sociable really. I just go and say hello to people, and you know, people want to see me there, I guess, and yeah, I enjoy it. But, yeah.
And could you argue, is that like your social life and your work life kind of merged together?
Yeah.
So you're still, I guess, the main promoter for your businesses.
Yeah. I mean, I'm continually on my phone, and you know, my WhatsApp's just ridiculous. You know, people wanting beds, and I always send them to my PA Danielle.
Yeah.
And Ibiza, she books everyone in, and yeah, it's constant really. I mean, and social media as well.
Yeah.
You know, Instagram and TikTok now.
And do you do all that yourself?
Yeah. I've got a social media manager who runs my social media side with me, and she's really good. Yeah. It's a lot of work. You know, it's you know, you try and respond to as many DMs as you can, and the comments and this and that, and yeah, it's a full-time job really, but it's an enjoyable job. I've got my phone with me all the time, and it's just constant. Yeah.
And has social media changed how you promote your clubs?
Yeah, I mean, social media's just absolutely been the best thing ever for us.
Right.
You know, I mean, Ocean's the most Instagram club in the world.
Wow.
Easily. You know, it's all over Instagram in the summer, and at Facebook and everywhere. So yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, it just used to be word of mouth years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you might get an odd write-up in a paper, but that's about it. Whereas your presence on social media now is just so strong. You know, especially my personal account, and all my businesses all have their own social media pages, and so yeah, it's an amazing thing.
Do you find though sometimes you get addicted to your phone, you can't put it down for more than 10 seconds?
Yeah.
I do.
That's why I never use my phone, never lose my phone.
Because it's stuck to you.
It's always, I'm always on it. So, because I'm somebody that loses things all the time, like keys and this, that and the other, but I never lose my phone. Because it's never far away from me, you know. So I'm constantly on it.
Yeah.
Which drives my family mad sometimes, but,
yeah.
you know.
And how old are you? How many kids you got?
I've got 4, 3 boys and a daughter.
And your youngest?
Freddie's 18 now.
Right.
He's my youngest, yeah. But I've got 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah. Milo's 7 in August,
Yeah.
Aria nearly 3, and little Alba is just 1.5 now.
Wow. And how have you found your kids growing up with social media? Do you think it's been good or bad for them?
Yeah. I mean, my kids are divided. My eldest son, Dwayne, my partner in Ocean, he's very much not against social media, but he doesn't like to expose his private life.
Yeah.
He's very protective over that. And then I've got Sean who uses it quite a bit, and then I've got Tia who makes a living from it. You know, she's got 500,000 followers, and
wow.
she's a little fashion icon. She is.
Yeah.
And she's built her social media up very, very well. She's always been just about fashion. And she's a beautiful girl.
Yeah. So you left school at 14.
Yeah.
I've interviewed quite a few entrepreneurs who left school young.
Yeah.
Carl Hartley, who has son of Tom Hartley, the car dealership, he left school when he was 11 and he was driving cars when he was 11. Yeah, you couldn't do that anymore. But do you think leaving school young was better for you to become a businessman and an entrepreneur?
I guess it's what your path in life is. You know, I mean, mine was, I wouldn't need any of the education that I got at school.
No.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
You know, obviously people take different career paths, and education is good. I mean, I would never tell people they shouldn't go to school.
No.
Because it's something you must do, and it's very good in general. But for me personally,
but you couldn't learn what you learned on the market stalls at school, could you?
No, it was the perfect education for me, which I couldn't have learned that at school.
And do you think that a bit of that should be in the school system, like how to sell and how to hustle?
I think it should, yeah. I really do. I'm totally believe in that. They should, you know, get a little bit, what's the word? Just try and help people become confident, you know, and be able to sell and you know, because it's either for you or it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, you either got the gift of the gab or you've not. I mean, some kids at school are just fantastic. You know, like little lads from fucking London, or they're just, you know, so funny. And Liverpool, the Scousers, they're just incredible. All they want to do is earn money.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going to watch a game at Everton when Gary played at Everton. And there's all kids out, like 8-year-old kids trying to sell tickets out of the ground. I was like, what the fuck? Like, but you know, they're such confident people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess.
So, as a 16-year-old, not at school, on the markets, selling, with 30 staff.
Yeah.
Give us some tips on how to sell. How do you sell anything to anyone?
You just got to have a little bit of cheekiness about you, having a laugh. I think if you interact with your clients and get to know them as well as you can in the minute you got, it's just really bonding with your clients and making them feel as special as they can, really, in whatever amount of time you have. And then they keep coming back, you know, and then you get them friendly. I used to have a system in my bar in Tenerife, because the bar always gets filled up by the same people, because they come early, they won't get the seat at the front of the bar. And I used to ask them names, and I used to have a sticker along the bar where they always sit, because they always come back and sit in the same place. So I was on first name terms with every single person in there.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, hi Greg, how you doing? And they're like, oh God, he remembers my name. And, you know, and I think personal touch like that is very important. I mean, obviously now I can't physically remember all the people that come to Ocean, because there are thousands, but at that time that sort of built the atmosphere up a little bit before it got busy, and everyone sort of knew each other, and all my staff were talking to the people around the bar and when they went to the tables and stuff.
Yeah. So my kids are 9 and 12, and they don't even like asking a waiter where the toilets are, because I can see they're worried.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get them out of that comfort zone. Do you think a lot of people maybe would be better at selling or socially if they worried less about rejection and what other people thought about them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a difficult area, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I had a son, Sean. He would never go into McDonald's and order a McDonald's till he was like 14 or 15 because he was too scared or too timid at that time or have the confidence to go and do that. I mean, which I found quite bizarre, really. But
so you've never had that?
I've never had it. No.
Never been bothered.
But some people, obviously, you know, you got mental health and this, that, and the other going on in their lives, and so everybody's different. But you've got to try and respect that, you know.
Because you said
try
like
and help them through it.
Sorry, go on.
And try and help them through it.
Yeah.
You know. Obviously, I was a more high-profile person in the prison. I mean, I had a few incidents.
Can you talk about any of those?
So these two guys came into my cell once. I want to send my girlfriend a picture of you. I'm like, well, I don't really want you sending a picture of me in prison, mate, sorry. He put his hand in his pocket. I thought he was going to pull a knife out.
Just a quick one. I have a digital financial toolkit for you that you can instantly download to make, manage and multiply money, build multiple streams of recurring income and increase your earnings. Now the link is in the description, it's completely free, it's my gift to you, so go and click the link in the description right now.
Because you said like a good way to sell is to, you know, be cheeky and be good with people. And if people just worry about being socially rejected, what would you say to those people to build up more confidence?
Just got to believe. It's very easy for me to say, just believe in yourself, you know, and just, you know, be confident in yourself. But it's easy. Like I say, it's easy for me to say that. But everyone's different, aren't they? They've all got their own reasons for the way they behave, or whether it be shy or overconfident, or you can be overconfident too, where you're getting on people's nerves. So. Yeah, you have to. There's a fine line, but if you can find that fine line, then that's what I'd advise people to do.
And with you raising your children, have you noticed some are more confident than others, and have you raised them in different ways?
No, they've all been raised the same, and they're all pretty confident kids, to be honest. I think just very humble. I've always taught them to be. Well, I didn't really need to teach them to be humble. I think. I'm a humble person. I guess they saw that, and you know, always nice to people. I like to be treated, you know, as I treat people as I want to be treated myself. So yeah, I'm always like humble.
So in 2008, you went to Ibiza.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you live kind of half there, half in the UK now. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually moving full time to Ibiza now because all my family are there, and my grandkids all live there.
Yeah.
So now I've decided that I'm going to stay in Ibiza now for the whole year.
And
forever now.
Right.
Yeah.
And did something pull you to Ibiza, or was something pushing you away from the UK?
Yeah, like I say, my family are in Ibiza. My oldest, all my children, apart from Freddie, he's studying at uni, but he won't be long because he's DJing now, and he's going to be an up and coming DJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ibiza has my heart. You know.
Yeah. It's
such a great island. You know, everyone's friendly, and you know, it's just a beautiful place. The beaches, the beach restaurants, and yeah, the standard of living there is incredible.
What do you think of the state of the UK now?
Sorry?
What do you think of the state of the UK now? You know, it's changed a lot since COVID, hasn't it? And
it's changed a lot. I mean, we're a cashless society now, aren't we? I mean, that's the big thing I've noticed. You know, there's no cash anymore. You know, I feel sorry for the people on the streets, and you know, that they can't feed themselves. And, you know, they ask people for cash. I always give people fivers or tenors or quid or whatever. But you never have it now.
No.
And that's the one thing that I've really noticed that COVID has done regarding trying to just having cash. You just can't, cash is useless now.
Yeah.
Everything's on card, and it saves me, because I always used to lose money left, right, and centre.
This is good for you.
So it's good for me. But no, it has its advantages and its disadvantages, I guess. But that's where it's gone now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And do you think we have true freedom of speech now?
I think people should have freedom of speech. Obviously, that big thing with Gary the other week, that went crazy.
Yeah. Well, tell us about that. What do you think about that?
Well, I fully support Gary, to be honest, for what he did. Because he didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. He just spoke about something, and it just went mad.
Yeah.
It went absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It was all every news channel was continually talking about it. But yeah, I don't really use Twitter myself now, so I don't try not to get involved in politics or anything, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So there's no point. I mean,
Yeah.
I hardly ever watch the news now. I just don't have time, or I don't really enjoy sitting down watching the news anymore.
No.
So I used to, but so I'm a bit ignorant to stuff like that. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm happy being me. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the end, Gary got a hell of a lot of support, didn't he?
yeah,
A lot
incredible,
of people.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was behind him. So.
Yeah.
But he stuck it out. He didn't, he stuck in his beliefs, and it's obviously people supported him in the end.
So do you think he would have walked if he was forced? Like, I mean, Piers Morgan did, didn't he? He walked.
Yeah. Like I say, he stood his ground, and I don't think he was shifting. So, and he made the right decision.
Yeah. So take us through the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur. Maybe give us your highest point, and maybe give us your lowest point, if that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, our highest point obviously is the success of Ocean, and the first 2 years we opened, then it started being all over social media and this, that, the other, and we were getting busier and busier and busier. And I thought, that's the high point of my, because it's just an absolute machine now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all people talk about on the plane on the way there to go in Ocean.
Yeah.
The girls plan their outfits for months in advance. It's an amazing achievement, really. But the lows, I've had failed businesses. One big one in particular, which was a social media site that I built years ago. Well, I didn't build it, but the programmers did, and I had a partner who stitched me up.
What happened?
No, it was just a compulsive liar, and
Right.
and the business went under. But I had investors as well.
Yeah.
I had 100 investors in it, and they all lost their money, that was the low point, because they invested in the belief, and obviously investment's a gamble anyway. But yeah, that's the one regret I've got in business, and it really hit me hard.
I think about this a lot, because I've never gone bust. And sometimes I think 17 years as an entrepreneur, never gone bust. That's good. And then sometimes I think, well, if you've gone bust and picked yourself back up, you may be a bit more durable.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
And then also I worry about raising money from other people, because if you go down on your own sword, it's you. But if you go
exactly, yeah. So I learned a lot from that, that experience, because it was a real tough time for me. So yeah, I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes, and
Can you share some of the mistakes and some of the lessons?
not really, because we're talking about other people's investments, and I don't really want to, I mean, it wasn't a large amount. But the overall project, I ploughed millions into it and lost it all. So, which really set me back.
Yeah.
Like, incredible as well. Obviously set us back.
Yeah.
All the, we got 20 odd businesses all in hospitality.
Yeah.
So it was just an incredible bad time for us.
Did you think at times you were going to lose some of the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were close, fortunately we're quite strong financially as a group, so we got through it. But there's a lot of businesses, smaller businesses that just folded because of, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, so when you say strong financially, I mean you had enough capital reserves to burn through the time.
Yeah, and if we didn't, we'd have been in trouble. But fortunately, we were quite financially strong at that time. If that had happened on 10 years before, it might have all gone up.
Yeah.
But we made through it. Yeah, and we're on fire now. So the islands, Ibiza's just so busy now, and everybody wants to go there. Because last year was unbelievably busy for us. It was incredible. Everyone had such a great time. People posting constantly on social media, not just about my business, it's about Ibiza, and so all the people that went to Ibiza last year, because obviously there's sort of a recession going through at the moment, and my partners were like, "Oh, we might struggle this year." I said, "No, we won't." I said, because the recessions don't, over my experience over the years, recessions don't hit the holiday industry like other
people
industries.
lean on
because
those
they just want to go away. They want to forget everything and go away, and that's what they do.
Well, alcohol thrived, didn't it, through lockdown?
Yeah. So and this year, I said that we're going to be busy, and they're like, "It can't be because of the recession and this and that, and it can't get them busy." I said, all the people that went to Ibiza last year are going to go back, and all the people that didn't go and saw it over social media want to go. So now we're rocketed up on last year's sales so far. So should be a good year.
So how do you bounce back from failure then?
Just got to keep trying. Just got, certain things come your way, and if you look hard enough for them, and you want them enough, then you can get it. But obviously, a certain amount of luck involved, and certain things go right, certain things go wrong. But I guess experience over the years with all our partners, we very rarely make a wrong decision now.
And did you ever lose belief in yourself, or was that always there?
No, I never lost belief in myself. It was just situations that caused the downfalls that I've had. But and the biggest thing is trust in someone, putting too much trust in someone that you don't really know. That's not a family member or a strong partner for over years. They're the people you can trust. It's taking in new partners, giving them too much leeway and access to money and stuff like that. That's what I've learned, not to trust people that I don't really know.
And how do you read someone then to figure out if they're going to screw you or not?
Well, obviously I wasn't very good at it because he probably screwed me over, but I learnt from that experience, and I tend to be a better judge of character now than I was when I was younger, for sure.
And what does that mean? Does that mean taking a bit more time, keeping them at distance, being a bit more skeptical?
Keeping them at distance and doing due diligence on people, and which is, I think, very important, which I didn't do. Due diligence is very important now. Yeah. Especially if you're bringing new partnerships in. Yeah. You got to do your due diligence on people.
So I understand you went to prison back in the day.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I understand also you have no regrets, and you think you learn from that experience. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, it was for a tax offence. I think it ended up at £80,000 undeclared taxes, which is normally a slap on the wrist. But at that time, again, my second name was very famous on Gary's side, not mine. And I think they just set an example of me. And they gave me 2.5 years, which was ridiculous. Yeah. But I took it to the Court of Appeal, and we won, and then they released me. But I was in there, the whole process took 7.5 months. So I was in there, for 7.5 months. I went to 4 different prisons. Wow. But, excuse me.
When was this?
My 44th birthday, I got sentenced.
Shit.
So it was a strange time. I mean, just walking out that courtroom into the security court van, and you're handcuffed to the little have you ever seen them big white vans with the windows on the side? You're in a little cubicle in there and you're handcuffed to it and like, oh my God, this is, and then I went to Brixton, straight to Brixton prison. I'm like, you know, which is one of the toughest prisons in the UK. I got in there, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. But my PA, bless him, Dave, he got sentenced as well.
Oh no!
So we went together. Fortunately, we got shared the same room cell, and all that's in there is 2 bunk beds and a kettle and a shitter. That's it. Because you're in your cell for 23 hours a day. So it was a horrific time. But it's funny. The first night we were there, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Dave went, should we play hide and seek? There's nothing in there. So that broke the ice a bit. And but I was in Brixton prison for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks before I got transferred to DCAT, which is an open prison. So the first 3-4 weeks was very, very tough. But you just got to get on with it. And but like I say, I wouldn't change that experience because it taught me a lot. You know, you meet all sorts of characters in there. But they were generally nice to me.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, obviously I was a more high-profile person in the prison system than most people, but I got looked after. I mean, I had a few incidents.
Can you talk about any of those?
Yeah, I'll tell you about one. It's so these 2 guys came into my cell once. Went, because at that time you weren't allowed mobile phones. They're only the little flip ones and all that. You know, like the old Nokias and that, whatever they were then. And Facebook had just at its early stages, really. And 2 guys came in my cell, and they said, "Oh, Mum, I want to send my girlfriend a picture of you." I'm like, "Well, I don't really want you sending a picture of me in prison, mate. Sorry." He went, "No." He said, "Come with me." So I went with him. He took me in his cell. He went, "Oh, right, how are we going to do this?" I said, "Well, we're not going to do it." I said, "How can I have a picture and she's going to put it on Facebook with me in prison? It's not the one." He went, "No, you are going to have your picture up, whether you like it or not." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Just put me against the blank wall, so you know you can't tell it's a prison cell, and I'll do it." And but before he did that, he said, when he said you are going to have your picture taken, he put his hand in his pocket. I thought he was going to pull a knife out, but he pulled his phone out. I'm not looking for that. But yeah, I literally thought that he was going to, I don't know, stab me or something if I don't have my picture up. But so that wasn't a very nice experience. But generally, it was okay.
And
how the food wasn't great.
No, was it really bad?
No, it was. I mean, you just got to take what you can. It's just slob food.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not what I'm used to.
No. and how do you like get yourself about there and stay out of trouble? And did maybe what you learned on the market still help you in that situation?
Yeah. Because I'm always trying to have as much of a laugh as I can under whatever situation it is. So I made some friends in there, but I didn't bring them close to me. You know, I just obviously I had Dave with me, which was a good thing. But yeah, it was difficult. I mean, Dave got transferred to a DCAT prison before me. A couple of days before me, so there was an empty space in my cell. So the screw, called him, came to see me and went, "Lineker, you've got a new cellmate joining you tonight." He said, "Just to warn you, he's a recovering crack addict." Well, lovely. I'm like, oh my God, that was terrible because and there was this 23 stone guy walked in, like he's like. I may breathe a lot at night, I may snore a lot, I may shake a lot. Okay. So the guy's gone, I'm trying to sleep, I can't sleep. And the guy's just making this, it sounded like it was like a hurricane in the palm, the beds were shaking. Oh I'm like, what am I doing here? Yeah. That was terrible. And I was with him for 3 nights.
Yeah.
I said to him, "Look, do me one favour, because you're allowed out of your cell twice a day to go to the toilet or whatever, if you don't want to, or have a shower and this and that." I said, "Just please don't shit in front of me." don't shit in front of me, I can't deal with that. I said, let's make a deal. So that was the shit deal, yeah. But yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah. Do you feel resentment that you got what you feel is a harsh treatment for that?
Yeah, I mean, it was always the most ridiculous thing to give me a prison sentence over that. It's never been heard of. For even if it's like £1 million, it's normally you can get a deal and get out of it and this, but the judge didn't like my lifestyle.
Right.
And he just, they've got too much power, these judges sometimes. Because it was ridiculous. I mean, we proved it was ridiculous because we went to the Court of Appeal, as I say, and we won, and I got released. But
yeah,
which was a great day.
Yeah, and tell me how that felt for
Fantastic.
Freedom Day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. Like such an amazing feeling. You know, you start understand, respecting things more. You know, even walk down the shop, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
No, literally.
More grateful for everything.
Grateful, yeah. Because you take things for granted, don't you? I mean, I still do now.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever take your mind back to being in prison if you take things for granted? Are you able to do that?
No, I don't really I don't dwell on the past really. But like I say, I wouldn't change that experience. It really, really did teach me a lot, and also about what goes on in prisons, and because I went to 4 prisons, so I got transferred a few
And what
times.
goes on?
Just how life is in prison, or you just got to crack on and get on with it. I mean, I learned Spanish in prison. I thought I want to take something out of this.
Yeah.
So I got loads of Spanish books sent in, and I just got so fixed on this mission to speak Spanish and to take something away from me, and I managed to learn pretty good. I speak good Spanish now, but when I left there, I spoke reasonably good Spanish, and I was.
And did you study for quite a few hours a day then to keep?
Well, that's all I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Yeah. Just got my head into the book, and then. Yeah, it really helped me because you can't just sit back and feel sorry for yourself. You just got to crack on and try and do whatever that will keep you motivated on something. So I've got a very addictive personality, so I just got addicted to it.
Yeah.
And
And how did you bounce back and clean up your image and go back to being a hero?
Yeah, I mean, it's it was an interesting time, but it was before social media really. Facebook had just come in, so nobody really knew about it. And, so externally, my image wasn't dented because it was in a few papers, this, that, and the other, but it wasn't like now.
Yeah.
If I went to prison now, it'd be everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, and that would have damaged me more, I think. Social media would damage you more for that. It has its good points and its bad points, doesn't it? But yeah. So my image wasn't really dented, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got away with it. If it had happened 10 years later, it'd have been a different story. But.
Yeah, and how did you rebuild everything after that?
Well, I had my eldest son at the time. He had to step his game up. He'd been working for me a few years, and he basically took over control of everything. Which is a blessing to have a family member be able to do that, because obviously you can trust them. But he literally, he's now my partner in Ocean, and he had to, go through a lot because he had to go. He was only like, what would he be? He'd be like 20, and obviously at that age you don't command as much respect as you would when you're a bit older.
Yeah.
And he went straight into to completely take over and run the business for me. So he had tough times trying to make people realise that he was the boss now.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for him, not at 20 years old.
No.
But he did well. I think he grown up about 10 years in the 7 months I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did a great job.
So both you and your son have managed a lot of people at a very young age.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
So you got any couple of tips on managing people, especially when you're younger?
Just to make them feel good, really. Don't just try and build their confidence up and make them believe in themselves, and just respect and again be humble. There's the one thing that I absolutely make sure that is I'm always humble. And I think if you can go through a business like that and understand that things do go wrong, you just still be humble about it, because you don't know you're going to another business meeting or another meeting with these same people a few years down the line, and there's no malice, and you'll just remain friends with as many people as you can.
So it seems like we're in a weird time in the world to be a man. Well, if you think about it, there seems to have been quite a lot of focus on masculinity. There's obviously all these genders now. So what do you think it is to be a modern man?
Oh God, don't know.
No, I don't think I do. Because
sure.
I mean, my son is 12, and I think about this a lot. You've got Andrew Tate, who's right up there, love him, hate him as a man. You've got Jordan Peterson, love him, hate him as a man. You've got all these different genders. You've got Sam Smith in the.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just whoa.
It's just a very dangerous game to comment on things like that now. I mean, I'd just let everyone be what they want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a gay son, and I love him for it.
Yeah.
He's yeah. It was very tough for him to tell me.
Yeah.
But when he did, I just put my arms around him and said, "This is cool. I always wanted a gay son." Then he'd start crying and it was.
Did you already know?
I had an idea, because I asked him. I said, "Look, you got something to tell me?"
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm his dad. I'm spending all my life with him, and so something. I mean, he was on the phone to a girlfriend of it, a friend of his. She was a girl, Carly, her name was. 2 hours a night, every night. I mean, lads don't do that. Do you know what I mean? So I thought something's not right. But I love him for it, and and he's got a boyfriend now, and he's really happy.
Yeah. And do you know much about Andrew Tate and what's going on in there? Because he's just got sort of semi-released, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he is who he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I do find him fascinating.
Yeah.
He's so intelligent.
Yeah.
Like the way he can deliver, just talking about stuff at such a fast rate. So, so I always find him interesting to listen to.
Yeah. And do you think he's been good for masculinity, to what a proper man is?
I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I don't like to get involved in stuff like that. I mean, I just take everyone as they come, and I'm just, I understand that everyone's different. And
why don't more people take that attitude? Maybe the world would be a better place if we all just accepted each other more.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you want to do with your life. It's your life. Just let it be. And let people be.
Yeah.
Not. Why do you got to dig someone out for? Because they're a bit more feminine than someone else or whatever.
Why do you think we're doing that? There seems to be this real divide, doesn't there, between what people call the left and the right? And why are we at each other
God knows.
so much?
It's crazy.
Maybe these people need to get on the market stall and work a bit more.
Yeah, but I don't agree with people having goes at people's masculinity or whatever.
No,
it just doesn't vibe with me. But I guess each to their own.
Yeah. So we like to do a quick fire round on this show. I mean, you can take as long as you like. So there's something we found really cool, which was you went viral for sharing a list of criteria for your future girlfriends. Can you share some of that list? Yeah,
I mean, I think I was in the restaurant with Faris, my videographer, and because at the time my kids said, "Dad, you're getting a bit loose. You're going out too much." This and that, because I'd just split up from a couple of years previous with my ex Danielle, and I got a bit loose for a couple of years, and they're like, "We need you to find a girlfriend. You need to have a girlfriend." I went, "I can't find one," because obviously that whole age thing as well, because I don't hang around with people my age.
No,
I'm never with them.
How old are you?
60.
Right.
So, and all the girls in the club and all that, they're all 25, 30, whatever. So that's, part of the reason that I can't find someone that my age really, that that I'd ever come across, really. You know, I don't hang around in them sort of places.
Yeah. So this list.
Yeah, the list. Well, yeah, it just said it's just stuff like you have to be prepared to. You have to have a driving license to be able to drive the Lamborghini and the Bentley and stuff like that. You have to understand that you go into nightclubs and not have to queue, and you have to accept the fact that you'll be given free drinks. And just a piss take, really. And it went mad. It went absolutely crazy. I mean, it was in every single newspaper. It just went completely viral across the world. It went. It was mad. It was like there was people blogging about it in Australia and Canada, and you know, I was on Loose Women the next day. They got the whole list up of my criteria. So I think it was listed about 20 things. But yeah, it was a mad moment, and that actually led me to get onto Celebs Go Dating.
Right.
Because it was about a relationship.
Yeah.
So they then approached me and asked me to go on the show, and which changed my life really, because at that time I was getting a lot of hate. I was getting a lot of love, but a lot of hate.
What for?
Just because I was a little bit controversial.
Right.
In the things I posted and stuff like that. Just because that's how you go viral. If you can cause a debate on your post, people having a go at you, or agreeing with you, or disagreeing with you, or this and the other, and the hashtag, it will just take you. So I was trending number 1 on Twitter for 2 days for that one. Then I trended on Twitter last year as well.
What for?
For the Queen's tribute we did at Ocean. So we do a London show every Friday. We've got the bus come down and Mary Poppins, and we've got a Queen impersonator, and you know, the London taxi comes through, and so the Queen passed away, and then we decided to do a tribute for her. But I think it was the fact that because we've got beefeater outfits for the girls and the dancers, but they've got thongs on. So we did, because that happened, we did a really good tribute to the Queen. It got so much stick because the girls had thongs on, I think it was, which is understandable. We didn't really think it through enough. But it was a nice moment. We did a speech and this and that. But somebody picked up on it about the dancers, and it just went viral, because it was a debate again. And the Queen I was trending number 1 on Twitter, and the Queen was trending 2. It's mad. It was literally, everyone was talking about it. So yeah.
And you said that the celebrity dating was good because it cleaned you up in some way.
Yeah, I mean, people never really seen me apart from on social media or at the club or this and that. So, you know, to see me in that light with what were my friends, really. You know, there was I think 12 of us living in the house. Or the mansion it was. And I was just being myself, and I think a lot of people realised that he's actually all right. You know, he's not a dickhead. I mean, I have sometimes, like we all are, but I think in general people saw that I was this normal guy, family man, and you know, happy-go-lucky, crazy. I do stupid things on there, you know, but just having a laugh, really. And that work went really well for me.
Right.
So yeah, that cleaned my image up a lot, and it was probably the best thing I've done, because I was hesitant to do it or not. Should I or should I not? And I thought, I need to show people that I'm actually all right. So I did it, and it was a good decision.
Did you ever meet a girlfriend that ticked all those things on your list?
No, I didn't even get many applicants, to be honest. I think this is a bit too much, can't I?
Would you rather have 1 million extra engaged followers on social media, or 1 million cash, and why?
1 million cash, because I've already got 1 million followers. So yeah, I'll definitely take that. I'll take the cash. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you could do more with that than you could the 1 million followers?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of money, £1 million.
And what would you do with £1 million?
Don't know, to be honest. I'll stick it with the rest. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Off the spot, I'd definitely. Well, I've actually ordered a new Aurus. But,
Right.
so yeah, that's. Otherwise, I'd have spent some of it on that. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably invest it into some property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like cars, do you?
I love my cars.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm at one end of the scale or the other. I'm just fortunate to be able to afford a nice car, and I do love a nice car.
Yeah.
I've had the Bentley for 4 years now, so I've ordered a Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah.
Now, because I need a big car because my grandkids are in Ibiza as well.
Yeah.
Taking them out's difficult in the Bentley.
Right.
It's got two tiny little seats in the back that don't really work.
So will you take the Urus out to Ibiza?
Yeah, but it was supposed to be delivered in May. Because I got one of the early ones, but there's been a delay.
It's hard getting anything, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't think I can get it till the end of the summer now.
Yeah.
So I'm gutted about, but what can you do?
Yeah, yeah. What's your biggest ever payday? What's the biggest lump of money you remember making in one go?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, yeah. Back in the day when I used to work on the markets used to close on a Thursday afternoon. It was called half day. But some people stayed open, and it was a really hot summer's day. And me and my dad went down to the wholesale market to buy the stuff for Friday, or some of the stuff for Friday. And there's a salesman there who worked for Francis Nichols, called Pete Kirk. And he always gave my dad and me the first opportunity for everything. So we went there, and he went, they just arrived, these strawberries like you've never seen in your life. They were unbelievable. I'm like, but it was a boiling hot day, and we did a deal on these. We got them for next to nothing. And we didn't want to wait till the next day because it was so hot they wouldn't have been in the same condition. So I said to my dad, should we open the market? Should we open the store this afternoon? He went, shall we? And we had a laugh. And we earned about £1,000 in one afternoon on strawberries. There was just queuing and queuing and queuing for them.
And back then, £1,000 is a lot of money.
That's like 10 grand now.
Yeah.
It was the best day. Me and my dad were just having a laugh, and it's crowds and crowds of people around there. But that was a great day. But that was a lot of money then, especially on the markets. You know, I think we had like £700-800. I think we had profit. We had.
Wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. What would be what's like the biggest night's take on a club?
I can't comment on
Can't
that.
you?
No, I can't comment on that.
Fair enough. But I guess, sometimes you get big DJs out there, so. Yeah,
we don't really tend to use the big DJs because we have our own style and our own residents. I think if you use some of them are like 150 grand a time.
What, to hire the DJ?
Even for an hour.
Right.
Some of them, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if you go down that route, then you have to charge a higher entry fee, which we don't like to do.
Yeah.
So we like to keep the entry fee down, give them good music, give them a variety of DJs, all fantastic DJs.
Yeah.
You know, we've got residents that worked for us since the day we opened.
Yeah.
You know, Grant Collins and Tom Crane, and these are top DJs, but they've been loyal to us. So yeah.
Yeah. What's your biggest regret?
Biggest regret. Biggest regret is, well, getting involved in that business and with the guy that stitched me up. That's for the social media thing. But I've not really got any personal regrets that stand out in my mind, to be honest. So I can't really think of any. I've been very lucky, really. Things have gone really well for me. So I don't really have any regrets that I can think of.
Is there one thing in the world that bothers you that you'd love to change?
Again, struggling. I think I'm just such a happy-go-lucky guy. I just see the positives in everything. I'm just such a positive man. You know, and I don't get involved in politics. I don't get involved in opinions about people, and so as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that stands out for me to change. I mean, I'd like to bring cash back because I find it, you know, strange just to not have any cash anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I mean, it's no problem. I mean, all our money's declared anyway. You know, we don't.
Yeah.
But I do miss having a bit of cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think the world will be a better or worse place with no cash?
It'd be a more controlled place for sure. I mean, they know absolutely everything that goes on now. You know, you've got. You know, it's very clever the way they've done it. Very clever. But whether it's a better place, I don't believe so, because, like I say, people that are really, really struggling, you can't donate to them in the street anymore, or you can't go and give them a 20 quid, or, you know, because you don't have it. And I feel so that really, it upsets me a little bit that, you know, these people, the poor people are now been taking that one chance that they've had to be able to get someone. I know if you call it begging, whatever, but even the buskers down in London, you know, they work hard, you know. And now I see they've got card machines there, £2 donations, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I'm sure people just slinging money in the thing is a lot easier, and they must suffer. And I feel that's sad, because they do. Some of them are very talented people, and you know, that sort of thing of life's gone now.
What are you most excited about for the future?
Just expanding, really. Expanding the brand Ocean, really. We're getting into Dubai, and business-wise anyway. And then we're starting to look more into hotels and stuff like that. Bigger stuff, you know. That quite excites me. I'm more excited for my son, really. My two children, because they're at an age now, they're really cracking on in life, they're doing really well, and they really enjoy what they're doing. So I'm more excited for them, really. I'm happy as I am. I'll just go to Ocean every year and have the time of my life.
Yeah.
I'm just happy doing that.
So this show is called Disruptors. What does the word disruptive mean to you?
Disruptive. Me on a big night out in Ibiza. That's disruptive.
I can imagine.
But yeah.
You still like a good night out, do you?
I love a good night out, yeah.
Yeah?
I always have, always will. I'm in more control of it now than I used to be.
Yeah.
I used to get a bit too loose, but yeah, I'm definitely more sensible now.
Yeah. What makes the perfect night out?
I don't like to plan nights out. I think the best nights are the unplanned nights, you know, where they just happen. Yeah, I very rarely go and book a table in a club or anything like that. I'll just see how the day goes at Ocean, and then if I want to go out, I'll go out. They're the best nights, you know. It depends what crowd of people you're with, and
Yeah.
yeah, I've got some really good friends that I like to party with when they're there, and yeah, it's never planned.
Yeah. And are you close to Gary, your brother?
No, we don't speak anymore.
Oh,
no,
I didn't know that.
No, we don't speak.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I won't go into that though.
No.
No, I've learned not to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. It's what it is.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed this, Wayne. Thanks for inviting us over and giving us the time.
I've enjoyed it too.
Really appreciate it.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Wow, so let me know what you think about the show in the comments. But before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on.